everybody, and welcome to the Silver Linings Show. And welcome to fall. This is going to be one of our most dynamic shows ever. So I can't wait for the show to begin, and you can take a listen with our guest. But before that, I made a little video that goes on trend with the fall things, and that just, give us a little preview of what's to come in the fall. So take a listen. Hello. Speaking of 1940s style, my favorite, in fact, I dressed in 1940s today, so you can see the whole idea with 1940s is a cinched in waist. I put a belt here so you could see, and a flowy bottom skirt, and this little sweater over top too is super cute for the 40s. And 40s basically was a lot of shoulder pads, and I'm going to show you one of those kind of outfits. So here is a jacket, just to show you, 1940s. So we have the shoulder pads, cinched in waist at the jacket, and 40s is way back. I mean, there's so much right now. Even this sweater, look at this. The sweater has shoulder pads in it. The skirt, a 1940 skirt, could be a nice slim pencil skirt with like a slit in the back like this skirt is. Isn't that adorable? You could put that with some boots for the fall. So cute. Then another 40s look for a party dress, to show you this, with the flowers on it. Again, we're focusing on that cinched in waist and then that flowy bottom. So pretty. Here's something very elegant with some pleating. Isn't that so pretty? And comfortable. I love the 40s look for that reason. Everything's really comfortable. And then even this, it's got sort of a thicker waistband. It's got shoulder pads. The dress isn't showing up the best there. There we go. I think I have a better look at it. So cute for the 40s. And then I wanted to show you some shoes. So ballet shoes, ballet flats, or little kitten heels were really popular in the 40s. Isn't that adorable? Love these shoes. And then here's just a regular ballet flat that also could be worn with any of these outfits. So just wanted to share a little 40s inspiration with you in case you were interested in adding a little 40s flair this fall to your wardrobe. Have a great day and a fabulous fall.
Thank you so much, Diane. We are so happy you could jump in at the beginning of the show. And you also will know why we kind of focused on 40s fashion when we talk with our guest today. So we are so excited to have with us Valerie Rogers, who is a singer, an author, and has just such a magnificent experiences to talk about and share. So we are so excited that you are here with us today.
I'm very excited to be here. What do you think about hats?
Love it. Love it.
That's what we're talking about too. I think the style of the 40s hat is fabulous. So I wear a lot of hats and accessorize with simple black to kind of get the look as well. So thank you for the tips. We'll take that off for now. But,
So certainly with you being a singer, we want to kind of look back.
Yes.
To where this kind of all began for you, the love of singing started, and how it really expanded in your life. Can you kind of share? And I know you gave us a variety of photos that we get to share also with our guests.
I did. I gave you
awesome.
so many, and I appreciate you all kind of putting them in because I think it definitely shows the path, right?
Yes.
And I think what's important, one of the things I wanted to stress is when we're little and the things that we like, the things that bring us joy, they carry on with us throughout the rest of our lives. So, singing for me, I want to say really happened naturally. It didn't happen by somebody saying, oh my goodness, let's just get you up on stage and get you going. It happened in the public school system. I was working with my first grade teacher, Mrs. Downing. I think we have a picture of that if we want to show that coming up, the first photo. And yeah, so there I am singing in my little Czechoslovakian dress. So those were kind of my first experiences. I was happy to come back. This is 1978, friends. Okay, so my first grade teacher, who I met at a gig later, gave me these photos. So I was so thrilled when I could share this with you. So it was a natural thing. Throughout my middle school years, I played the Tin Man and I did musical theater. And you'll see some other, and you know, it's the directors and it's the people around you that give you that confidence and the support, but really it's the teachers that really started me off with the love of music. And as I entered into high school, I had a little bit more confidence, and so then I got different roles, particularly in theater, but because I could sing. Then, if you can stop at this photo for a moment, or that photo's fine, then in my high school guidance counselor said, hey, we'd like you to enter a talent competition. And I said, great, I'll enter a talent competition. Until they said, put your bathing suits and high heels on. I was like, this is not a talent. This is a pageant. This is a pageant, friends. So I competed in the Miss Connecticut scholarship pageant. I was 18 years old. My best friend Maria is here in the audience today. She was giving up her crown. She intimidated me because she was older, the love of my life, but she, you know, it really was like, oh, who is this woman and how do I get to where I'm at? And then I competed, and the next photo you'll see is me competing in the pageants where I sang I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis. And the quick funny story on this one, this is the time when the Miss Connecticut scholarship pageants were at the Schubert Theater. So Al Terzi was the director and helped to, you know, Channel 3 and did all that. I remember being on stage in that position, the curtains were closed, and I couldn't remember the words to the song.
Yeah.
And I ran backstage and I looked at my words, and it was, I Dreamed a Dream. It's the name of the song. It's the title of the song. So I was like, oh. So I was nervous. Needless to say, I won the non-finalist talent award. I did not make Miss Connecticut, unlike my friend Maria, who was Miss Connecticut. But from that, and you can kind of scroll through the next photo, we'll see what that might spark my memory. Ta-da! I won Miss Manchester. Yeah, so I became Miss Manchester and competed in the Miss Connecticut scholarship pageants, and you can scroll through another of the photos that you'll see a few of these just from newspaper clippings. I really thought it was a talent competition. I had no idea it was pageant land. So when, after the pageants were over, they called me and they thanked Louis and Stan and Maureen, all these wonderful people again have come together to create the Liberty Misses. And the Liberty Misses were from the Miss Connecticut Scholarship Pageant, and we were a group of women that entertained overseas for our military troops.
That's where our next question comes up, because, you know, you obviously evolved from this, and you learned from this. You learned what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it, right? So the Liberty Misses were kind of connected to the USO, were they not?
Yes.
So I'd love for you to share about your experiences traveling abroad with the Liberty Misses and how that impacted your performances, your inner being, and who you became as a performer.
This was the first troupe I went with in 1990, and the second troupe I went with was 1992. They did not have a troupe go over 91 because of Desert Storm, the war, so we didn't have a troupe go there. So in the 90s. So let me first preface this with saying I was trained classically at the University of Connecticut, and I was going to University of Connecticut as a vocal major, a soprano in opera. The experience of going and traveling overseas with the USO and the Liberty Misses and the DoD, the Department of Defense also, it's kind of all conglomerated, changed that whole trajectory of me being a classical vocalist to an entertainer. Now
there you go.
That's what I'm
There's
talking
where the
about.
pivot came.
That's the money shot right there.
That's where it came, you know, that's where the pivot came with this whole experience.
Exactly. And you can scroll through another of those photos for us So we put together a whole show, and they were different styles of music, the 50s, the 60s, and the 40s, and we did rap, of all things, a country. It became apparently clear that Val can sing, but Val cannot dance. So Val does not do much dancing in the shows, but these are some of the photos. This, I think, was taken on the USO, New York USO on the Intrepid. Some of the other photos that you'll see with the USO is me performing with some of my friends. So now we come here. So I want to kind of stop at this photo right here. The Liberty Misses 1992. Look at the hair, people. Look at the hair, right? Like, talk about fashion statement.
Lots of Aquanet.
Lots of Aquanet, exactly. Now, mind you, we were all pageant girls at this point. So we had 3 singers and 2 dancers in here. Luckily for me, the other 2 singers could dance. Again, Val could not dance. I have the little chicken arms when I go. This group right here is what I call my forever friend group. So if you scroll through another one of these photos, you'll see us. I think this was taken in Greece or Vicenza, Italy. It's hard to remember now. But this was at the World's Fair in Spain, so we were fortunate to be able to perform at the World's Fair. So you can see the variations. Some were on stage. Oh, and this is my forever friend, Maria. That's us in '91 when we performed in the Waldorf Hotel in New York City when Barbara Bush became USO Woman of the Year. Our group toured and performed for her. And then one of my shows that I produced. So my forever friends at one of our recent birthday parties. And then if you go one more, let's see what the next photo might bring. There we are. They're not going to like that photo, but we were all pregnant with kids and all that. So between the 5 of us, we have 12 children. That's the other point I just kind of wanted to stress a little bit, is the friendships and the families and how we integrate and become one with each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And certainly honoring the fact that service and those that serve is very important to you. And it's a real special place in your heart. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's my son, my older son. I've been blessed with 2 boys. Cole is my youngest, and I named him for Cole Porter because I just love the Cole Porter music and songbook, and I think Cole Porter is wonderful. Quinn is my hyperactive, my older son, and he graduated high school during 2020. I knew 2 things about Quinn when he was in my belly. I knew that he would need to do karate because he kicked a lot. And he did become a wonderful, black belt. And I also knew the military was right for him, and it could have been because of my traveling and because of my singing experience. I just felt his energies and his just life would work for him. And because of 2020 and school and learning online, that wasn't for him. He joined the Marine Corps. And you can go to the next photo, if you will. Yeah, a few more. That's him at Parris Island. During their motto run, my husband and I were fortunate enough to go see him, and that's him soon after. It's my family, my husband and Cole and Quinn. We have no shoes on, so I cropped the photo. But, he forgot to bring his shoes home that day. When he was at Parris Island, I sent him a note every day through Sandbox, which is a wonderful app that the military families can use to send communications to their loved ones all over the world with that. So.
Now, during this whole time, I'm seeing all these wonderful pictures of him in the service, but were you still traveling and performing?
So that's a wonderful question.
Because I want to kind of
the timeline here.
Blend this conversation on how did you travel and perform while raising a family and while, because all of this has happened, and your son just doesn't grow up and be successful and become a Marine without support from you and all of that. So I'd love to hear how this all came to be.
Yeah, I so appreciate that question because I love sharing it because it is, again, a little bit of an odd path. As you saw earlier, I sang, performed with the Liberty Misses. We became close friends. We all got married. We had families. Val then starts singing still singing. I start singing at community events when my children are small. My husband married my high school sweetheart. Never once has he complained about me going out to any gig, never once. My friends have been supportive, but I have a wonderful thing about me where I like to say yes. So it's pros and cons. As I've gotten older, you learn those boundaries.
Sure.
But when they asked me to sing at the Memorial Day parade with one of our Scoutmasters, he's now since passed, unfortunately, I say yes. And I wanted to be part of that community while my children were growing up. We grew up in this really small town where music was important. So the veterans were important. This is our sensei, Master Dan, who taught my children. He's Navy, Vietnam. He asks me to perform, and I say, yes, I will. I will sing at Wreaths Across America. I will sing the national anthem when you need me to. I will perform when you need me to.
So this, you incorporated your children into these events, so this is kind of how they saw you as involved.
In a funny quick story, I was on my way to a gig and the kids were little and they were at the sink and they overflowed the sink while I was still getting ready, and I'm rushing around in the bathroom and I'm yelling at them. I'm like, you are making mommy yell and I have to use my voice in just a minute. And they were like, and my little one, Cole, he stared at me, he was like 6. And I said, I am so nervous now and I'm not going to do well. And he looked at me and he said, and the babes of young children, but Mom, it's what you do. And I've never forgotten that. It's what you do. Yeah. So I do get nervous, and I think without those nerves of performing, you don't perform as well. Right. But I go back to his 6-year-old voice telling me it's what you do.
Right.
And so when I began to sort of embrace that and incorporate that into my family. I have a grand piano at my house. I should have shown a picture of that with some friends, and my kids were used to us having parties and my friends coming, grabbing a saxophone, a guitar. I'd had drum sets in there, and they grew up surrounded by that, and they grew up with me doing that.
That's so awesome.
So certainly the next kind of piece of your venture with singing is you said yes once again.
I did, yeah. Well, I said yes a couple times. If you scroll through the other photos here, you're gonna see that's me with my band, the Red Satin Band, singing at a veterans event here in the shoreline of Connecticut, saying yes to those things. You can scroll to the other photos as well, saying yes to assisted living centers and veterans centers. I love what I do. I'm fortunate enough to have my girlfriend Crazy Kelly, who comes and takes pictures and helps and performs. These are all veterans, places that I've performed at now, still from the days of my USO shows. So it's definitely a thread that has come into this. This was at a funeral, unfortunately, you know, and there were Marines there at that particular time. And so we smile because it's what we do. And supporting 9/11, so singing the national anthem at those events for the veterans. And that was all because of the USO and the DOD and the friendships that I made, and saying yes to.
Look at the power. I mean, the pride that comes through in that stance in that moment is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
That's beautiful.
That was my dance move.
No,
that was my one move.
That's as good as it gets.
That's right. Although Maria tells me do not put my arms up in the air, but I did it for that one.
It looks awesome. And then you showed us a photo of your band.
Yes.
Red Satin.
Yes.
And then you really started to do big band.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about how that all
So
emerged.
that was a fun, natural fit. If you go to there it is, next photo. But, Val puts the hat on. I start thinking about the 40s outfits, Diane. I start looking at the pearls, and I start saying, this is going to be fun. So the first band I ever sang at, and this was funny because it was just a friend, and she called me up. She goes, hey, I know you sing. I'm part of this big band. Can you come sing? Now, what I'm about to tell you is 100% truth, okay? I show up at their rehearsal, and it's at an assisted living center, and we're just in the backside. It's not a gig, it's just a rehearsal. Yeah. And they go, let's pull out the Billie Holiday song, God Bless the Child. And I was like, I don't know who he is. Who's Billie Holiday? Who is he? Bad, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know Billie was a woman.
Right.
I didn't know Billie Holiday. And then they said, well, we're going to do this tune by George and Ira Gershwin. And I'm thinking to myself, how long have they been married? So again, I didn't know that they were brothers. Yeah. Wouldn't you know that this is my niche? is jazz, the big band. This has become the Frank Sinatra Station, Glenn Miller, all of this. And thank you, Sue Haggerty, for introducing me. Sue's somewhere over here, right there in the corner. And so we're friends with these people, you know, I mean, this is what the music is about. This is how you learn and you work your craft.
And I think you have a video to show us on this, don't you?
Well, I don't, yes, I have a video of, I think I have big band pictures first. Let's get through, let me see what I have here. If you do the next
I wasn't
photo.
sure the order, but I know we have a video.
But that was going to come at the end and then we were going to transition, I think. But if you show the next photo, this is, once Little Big Band, Frank and I decided to form our own band. So this was taken at Lake Compounce on this wonderful stage, which is very well known. And so we were fortunate to play there. Oh yeah, so Little Big Band still, we'll go to the next one. Okay, whoops, still Little Big Band. Okay, I just thought these were fun photos to show. I forgot. Okay, now, here we go, red satin. Got the cape, you know, and you can't go wrong with the cape. This is at Mohegan Sun. We played there recently. And the next photo, so now we formed Red Satin Band. You can see it's a little smaller. You can scroll through a photo now as well. That is at the Marine Ball, so the Leatherneck Ball in New York City. So that, again, that theme of the military coming into play and having the gigs. And if I tell you, when you hear the Marine Drum Corps in a huge, awesome auditorium play, this was such a huge event. The Leatherneck Ball raises $1 million for fallen Marines, soldiers and their children. And we've been fortunate enough to have played there for many, many years now in advance. So this is the beginnings of kind of the Red Satin Band, and you can scroll through the next photo. Yeah. And then that, you know, just different little things, outdoor concerts in the park, military places that we sing. And then I do have, I think after this would be a good, after this one, and then Dick Campo, right? We can't forget about Dick Campo. So you can see I have such a varied past. So all of this balance is what you're talking about with the family.
For sure.
I'm doing gigs, I'm raising the kids, I'm doing this.
And complete support.
Yep.
And complete support.
I love that complete support. And then you transition from there to something completely different.
I did. So
You're doing voiceovers?
Yeah. Do we want to show the video of me singing thus after we?
For us to show the video.
Because then we can and then we can like keep it separate. But let's just one more.
That's where I live.
Yeah, I know. But we have the video of me singing God Bless. I want to. So.
We got you.
We love you, girl. But yes.
All right. So the video that you're going to see. This is why I brought this. Okay. When we were overseas with the Liberty Misses, we performed for. And you asked me earlier on, like, what are some of the memories I remember? You know what I remember? I remember performing for kids. I remember performing for soldiers. I remember performing for women. One of the things that people don't realize is that there's families overseas. And so we, as Liberty Misses, would perform God Bless the USA as our last song. Yep. And I still do that today. And the video you're going to see was taken very recently. And it's just the last 43-second clip. But what I wanted to share with you all right now is we, as Liberty Misses, knew that there were women and other people, not just men, in the military. Yep. So the first words that we always sang, if tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my family at my side, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. That's how we always would switch the words. So if you want to play the video, we could, I don't know if there was any more photos after that, but.
Awesome.
God bless the USA. Thank you.
Cool. So we have just a few minutes left,
Yes.
so we've got to go through stuff.
Go.
super,
Yeah,
super
do the next
quick.
picture because that we're going to
We
transition.
probably won't be able to get through all the pictures.
No, I was going to say
unfortunately.
just switch the next one. Yeah.
But Lynn had just started to talk about how you had switched to something else.
Yes.
So just super briefly, can you just tell us about your latest
Yes.
venture?
Yes. So I have said yes, and I know it's in the thing, so you can move the pictures around over there. But I began recording original meditations for an online app called Cloud9 Online, and from that I have created sort of a section of meditations that I have originally written for the app, and I have created a book, which is similar to a poem. I connected with an artist who was a vocal coach, Linda Tracy, for original artwork in the meditation books. And I've connected with a friend, Kyle Pickard, who has written original meditation music for the audiobook. So this is the first book. The second book is going to be on cancer. We can do a whole show on that one. So it's meditations on cancer. But this is for nature lovers and yoga. Talks about, you know, just the earth and a relaxation of meditation. So I've used my voice in that. And I do voiceover work as well for other audiobooks.
And who wouldn't love that?
I do.
So we're going to take a quick break because when we come back, Val is going to be closing the show with a live performance.
I love that.
Yay,
Perfect.
thank you.
In the morning when you rise, I bless the sun, I bless the skies, I bless your lips, I bless your eyes. My blessing goes with you. In the nighttime when you sleep, I bless you while I watch, I keep, while you lie in slumbers deep. My blessing goes with you. This is my prayer for you, there for you, ever true. Each, every day for you in everything you do. And when you come to me and hold me close to you, I bless you and you bless me too. Thank you. Thank you, Silver Linings. Appreciate it.